This is probably about where I would make some kind of comment about how first-party Nintendo music would probably be at least somewhat liable to get picked up by the copyright robots, but I get the feeling that not necessarily, at least not nearly as trigger-happily as with Square Enix music, which is why I kind of took license a few seconds ago there. Something that'll probably get cut out in the VOD based on the order in which I clicked on things, but hey, whatever. But also hello to whosoever may be present. There's a few things, a couple things really that I need to do before doing anything else, such as using the glass full of ice and the can of stuff that I've been keeping in the fridge in conjunction for a few seconds there, and then I need to once again very rushedly due to my poor management of time move forward to this scene as I try to greet everybody and fade this out, because the other thing's about to begin that I usually try to start things around this time for the sake of doing. Let me see. Yes, capture that. Oh goodness, just in time, but hello Vern, hello Ak, and hello Red Bear. Apparently I am literally...
to get through the Menhir Hills in Rayman 2.
I have no idea. Just time to start the daily quiz. Line. Cats. 2 S's. No. Walking missile. Perhaps one day I will actually be able to answer this question with my own knowledge, given that Rayman 2 is a chase game, I think it is. And I have owned Rayman 2 for a little while on GOG, but I never actually played it.
Mascot of Tetris Attack.
Really? Even though I'm pretty sure Tetris Attack is just a kind of adaptation. I'll tell you under this symbol. I don't think that's supposed to look like that, or maybe some kind of quirk. Oh well. Don't know about Tetris Attack though. I feel like I never really played that for any long periods of time. I feel like I at least have played it at some point.
What male protagonist do you play as in Resident Evil?
Goofus, good job, my very own motor skills. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that symbol, but I guess it must be particular to that person. Also, even though it's past 8 PM, I feel like I hear some very faint, like, tapping in the distance. Don't know if I would equate it to hammering, but oh well, whatever.
What game does Discovery belong to?
It was one of those. I don't remember that much. And yeah, interesting juxtaposition. And people giving away the answer, but apparently not too very many more. Should I turn this up all the way?
On the screen in the cutscene that plays after getting a new shine in Super Mario Sunshine.
Well, it depends on which version you're playing, but usually I'm pretty sure that the answer you were looking for, if you ask that specifically, would be Shine Get. Or just Shine, yeah. In the international version it's Shine, but in the Japanese it's Shine Get. They probably changed it in some of the other PAL versions, probably.
What stage is Mega Man currently in if he sees platforms in front of him disappearing and reappearing non-stop over a deadly river of lava?
I was not going to be able to guess that by myself. I've heard of the platforms, I think, but well, based on how that question was phrased, I'm guessing that they show up in a number of stages, not just that one. I don't even know which specific game that is. I don't think it's number 1, which remains to this day the only one that I bothered to actually play and beat. Kind of.
From which game does this image come from?
Oh god, actually don't know. Is this real retro or fake retro shatter? And it would help if I actually would spell that right first time, but oh well. guessing that actually is real retro, because I'm pretty sure that I've seen that. Yeah, it's kind of a meme, isn't it? Or Soul Brain, I guess, is the alternative title there. Mega Man 2. So one that people will actually know, I guess.
Who created the puzzle game series Hexic?
I have never heard of this series. Shoot. I don't think I even have a guess. Alexei something. Pajitnov, goddammit. I thought of it at the last possible moment. That's the guy who made Tetris. I didn't know if he had done any more video games.
In which game a digital pad helps the player going back through time in order to save their life?
Okay, well, what is it? Damned. No. This is a 51 game. Are you kidding me? I'm pretty sure it's Shadow of... Shadow of Destiny, not singular, not plural.
Come from?
I actually don't know this one either, but probably somebody here does. I never heard of. That's a game, right? I don't think I've ever seen this, but I can say that about a lot of fighting games, so... Knuckleheads, yeah, I've definitely never seen that one. Let's see.
How many legendary Pokemon does the third generation have?
3. 5. Third generation, they said. 6. I have no idea. Before it's 4. It's 10. Okay, what the fuck? I don't think I could even name half of whatever they are. Which one even would be the third generation? Ruby Sapphire. Yeah, I can probably name 2. That's it. The ones that are on the covers of the games. Well, maybe 3.
Man becomes Nintendo's new president in September 2015.
Oh, okay. I thought I had heard that name, but I wasn't too sure. I don't even know his first name, though. How many people answered Doug Bowser? I mean, what year did Doug Bowser become the president of the Nintendo of America version? Because I think that's what happened. Yeah, well, one person actually thought of that. There you go.
What game does Discover belong?
Oh god. I feel like I have seen this cover, but... I still... Battle of Dragons? Battle of something, probably. Battle of Olympus. Kinda wish I could remember what context I've actually seen that cover in, but... That might be difficult to remember. I feel like wherever I saw that, it wasn't necessarily... Didn't mention the name in text, at least.
The guy's first
I don't know if there... Wasn't it like an open-ended game? I thought... Maybe, possibly, Mike Tyson. I don't know, I probably would be lying if I said that I had seen any kind of in-depth, taken any kind of in-depth look at I Want to Be the Guy, but
Boston Super Smash TV.
I don't know. It must be this guy because that's what the hint said. Battle of Olympus is a Zelda 2 clone. I feel like, yeah, I may have... Maybe wherever I saw that would have mentioned something like that, but I really don't remember where that was or when that was. My memory's terrible for stuff like that.
From which game does this
come
from?
Question mark? I don't know. Evidently not. Can't be Forsaken. I don't think any of the stuff in Forsaken even look like that. It wouldn't really make sense either. Quarantine 2 Road Warrior, yeah. I don't believe that I've actually heard of that. Crazy Taxi, but it's the movie Heavy Metal from the 80s.
What peculiar character can you play as in both Tekken
Oh,
and Soul Calibur?
Doesn't Heihachi have a crossover in Soul Calibur? I don't know who else. Who's a Tekken character? Who's a Soul Calibur character for that matter? Yoshimitsu. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Heihachi has some kind of crossover in Soul Calibur too. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna not do that because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Oh well.
In what game the characters have to play a game called
I wonder if you could have written that in a kind of a shortened version. But I'm pretty sure the only reason I was able to remember that one is because of the really obnoxious way that they voice act that particular line over and over again.
From which game does this image come from?
I'm surprised that it was the original, but I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure the original is the only one that was PS1, and then the others were in newer consoles, and that seemed a little too smooth to be PS1, but there you go. I'm also kind of surprised that I didn't get a hair for that one, but oh well. I don't think I'm gonna be in the end placement today.
What can you generate by repeatedly pressing any punch button with Blanca in Street
I
Fighter?
have no idea. I guess that's it, though. Have I ever even touched any Street Fighter game that wasn't Street Fighter 5, which I only got because of probably some humble thing. I don't think I even managed to beat like any one of the like freaking story arcade modes in that game either. That's like a pattern for whenever I try to fight a game.
How are in general the Silent Hill series' strange and humorous endings called?
Yeah, UFO. Does any one of those games other than the second one have a dog ending even? Because I figured that some people were gonna go for that. I don't think they do. I also don't know what the hell this image is that people are spamming now.
From which game does this image come from?
I don't think I've ever seen this, so... What? So, no. Yeah, I got nothing. Sorcerian, yeah. I don't believe that I have, I may have at least heard that name at some point, but certainly I've never seen that played. Or played it, you know.
Who are the main predators of the X-Parasites in Metroid Fusion?
Okay, yeah, there's definitely some kind of banging going on the walls, and I don't know exactly who's doing it at this point. Yeah, spoilers in the question, pretty much.
What does Taz mean?
Of course. Well, I'm not surprised about that one either, honestly. Sharon is part of the Dragon Slayer series, so it's related to Tokyo Sanadu and Legend of Heroes series. To Legend of Heroes is in the Falcon stuff, because that doesn't really change what I was about to say right after that, which is, unfortunately, I don't think I'm pretty familiar with any of those.
From which game does this image come from?
Yeah. Honestly, thinking about it now, I don't know if I would be in any way familiar with any Falcon stuff at all, other than maybe the early East games. And even then, familiar might be stretching it. I have to actually get a better scope of what Falcon have done, though.
What studio was originally named Sega AM4?
Don't know, Sonic and Sega. I don't know what they expect here. Guess we're about to find out. Amusement Vision. That name does not ring a bell. The only thing that make the Dragon Slayer games a series is that they have all the same producer, and that's it. Producer, like, not even studio, I guess.
Characters are there in Super Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64.
Like, fuck, I don't know. It's a multiple of 2. 12. There you go. I guess you start. Like, number 8 came to mind, but I guess you start with 8, and then there are the 4 hidden characters in that game. It's all Falcom games. Okay, yeah, that makes a little more sense, because I was thinking of, I don't know, for some reason the first thing that came to mind when something like that.
Does this image come from?
Just kinda had a guess there, but the first thing that comes to mind when you mention something like that, it's like the thing, they're not really a series, they only have like a production stuff in common, and maybe, well, I don't know what else, but I guess just production stuff in common. For some reason makes me think of Quantic Dream, even though that's like a completely different kind of style of game. And not even, well, it's also a type of game or quote-unquote series that I've never even touched myself, so... Oh fuck, I played this game but I don't remember. Pete and... I don't know. Joseph... Well, I played a part of this game, but Pete and Daniel, oh. But I couldn't remember. And I wasn't even able to...
What temple can you find in the graveyard in The Legend of Zelda?
First, I think you played that whole thing out, how well. What was I going to say at the end of my previous thought? Well, just the fact that I played the Fireman, but I couldn't actually bring myself to finish that game. Oh, that was an abrupt ending to the sounds. I don't think I could bring myself to go very far in that game without just resorting to cheating. Oh, Jesus Christ. And then there's everything else. Such as this song, which I do not recognize, but I guess as always I will let a couple of these play out before I close the window. Oh goodness. I get the feeling that I could maybe try to figure out how to... Shatterhand Arumano no Kiseki? I don't know what that is yet. I figured that was going to be some game with that construction, title with that construction that I wasn't really going to be able to figure out how to spell. I mean, I saw the first part of that. Oh hey, this is that game that has very questionable names for the tracks, because they didn't have defined names for any of them except for like the very few ones that pretty much come directly from the file names. Wonder if that'll ever get sanitized in the chase. Maybe if I ever get put in charge of that, but you know. What do they have it as this time? Sellout, Professor Frink's theme, yeah. I would probably just call this Professor Frink's theme at any rate, since I'm pretty sure it just plays in missions involving him, but let's do one more. Okay, I don't know what this is. Can I figure this out? Saints Row 4. It's probably just classical then. I'm gonna go ahead and make this invisible and let this play out, just so I can see what the actual name of the strike is, and then go ahead and fade this out and move on to the other thing. I'll do the other thing and then play the video game, I guess, to be more precise. Oh god, that's gonna turn to friggin' Skrillex thing, I think. Let it play for long enough. A bass renaissance dubstep gun theme by Malcolm Kirby Jr. Interesting. Yeah, I thought it might be something like that, but let me go ahead and, I guess, resume the Mulgera theme, which is somewhat significantly louder than the thing that I just interrupted. As I actually transition to trying to figure out where the... where the randomizer tab is, which I guess I still have open. I wasn't sure if that was going to be the case, but that also reminds me there's something that I should probably do real quick while I'm at this. Oh yeah, there's a thing that I was going to do. Oh, yeah, there's a couple of things that I just kind of left pending. I probably should have looked at before I actually started the stream, but I was just kind of trying to rush so I wouldn't miss that. I also had a nap today that didn't just entirely result in me sleeping through the entire day, which is surprising, but at the same time I feel like it might have put me a little bit more out of it than usual in a couple of aspects, but it was probably more of a help than not. Let me see. Can get to this in just a second. Just need to do this other thing, which will probably make it harder for me to actually stay with a stable connection, but oh well. I'll have to do this and this as well. Let's see. That almost went smoothly, but there we go. Just need to wait for these things to not be doing stuff anymore, and then I don't even have to wait for them, I can just start doing stuff now, because I am just waiting. Fade this out for a few seconds, or however long it takes for me to fade this out. I don't know, I had to end that sentence with a few seconds, but let me go ahead and switch over to this tab now. Updated it today. That means that I should probably go ahead and reshuffle this. Let me see, because it should be the same link either way, but if I press this button, let's see what happens. I think it did reshuffle, but for some reason it didn't like automatically play the stuff at the top. As opposed to the stuff that was loaded in before, yeah. It says 4,580 videos right now, which is... I'm not sure if that's actually different from the amount that it said before, because I wasn't paying attention, but it probably was. But anyhow, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil the first handful of things that are listed at the top when I reshuffle this, because they're spoiled to me, but I can just see them. So we got Celeste, Exhale, which is the one that sounds like Dire Dogs, which is how I remember it. We got F-Zero GX, Shotgun Kiss, Casino Palace. We got Ancient Beaver Bop from Donkey Kong Land, which I have vague memories of at least trying the Donkey Kong Land games many years ago, but don't know if I would remember any music from them then. Castle and Fortress from Yoshi's Island. Into the fantasy question mark. It cuts off the title, but I think it's Into the Fantasy from Final Fantasy Tactics 8 to Calm Before the Storm with the Self-Plagiarism from Final Fantasy X. Jelly from World of Goo. Bastion Brusher Patrol. Warcraft 3 Last Days of the Alliance, which I guess is a bit of a slow startup one. Mount Rocket from Paper Mario. And Sphere Hunters from FF102, which I'll go ahead and not play for too long because of the, you know, the good old Square Enix / Mother paranoia, which I will have to remember to actually put into effect now. So let's see, time to do this as usual, which is going to be 5 random tracks, starting with whatever's after this. To be maybe guessed. Let's see, starting in... Actually, hold on. I do this, and then this, does it autoplay? It does autoplay, okay, so starting now. Oh boy. Well, this is not from a source that I am particularly big fan of myself, but at least I don't think I have to worry about this getting picked up by angry bots. I do need to probably adjust the volume a little bit though. There we go, just a tiny bit. Which I'm just going ahead and look back, so yeah, it's kind of obvious what this is. And I wish I could say that, I could at least say that about pretty much every track on this soundtrack, but I don't even know if I can do that in earnest. Like, you got stuff like this, and then you got stuff like It's Raining Somewhere Else, or that, like, Running Fast theme that played the other day. I don't even remember what the name of is. Is it the Running Fast theme, or is it like the Snail Race theme? Yeah, those things that you actually don't hear often enough for it to become that recognizable. But yeah, it's Undertale Metal Crusher. Do I like Undertale? It's just okay. That's pretty much my... Oh, is it already over? Okay, well there you go. I don't have to time that any better than that. But yeah, that's pretty much my perception of it. It's just okay. This, on the other hand, I do not immediately recognize, so I sure hope it's not something that I need to be worried about. Doesn't really sound like it would be though, probably. Sounds like it could be from some fighting game or racing game, perhaps. With that in mind, I'm thinking that maybe it could be, I don't know, like Marvel 2 or Capcom vs. SNK 2, or what was the other thing that I said? What racing games are there even in the chase that could potentially sound like this? If it is one of those things and not something completely different. Well, maybe Fantastic Four 2, I guess. That could also be something that I could buy sounding like this. Yeah, but the other thing that's actually a car game that I could maybe imagine would have this kind of energy would be Streets of SimCity, but I don't think that the instrumentation is right for that. Well, we're gonna find out. It is... Oh, it is Fantastic Four. And apparently the name of the track here is Fruity Pooty. There you go. I don't even know how many Fantastic Four tracks are in the chase, but... Oh, and it's about to end. Good timing. I would imagine that it wouldn't be... Oh, hello. Well, that little, what's it called, leitmotif kind of makes it obvious what it is, even with that quiet start to this one, but... I don't know how many tracks just in total the Fantastic Four OST would have, but that's not one that I remember seeing before. 9 Fantastic Four tracks in the chase, I guess. So how many tracks from that name would I actually be able to remember from memory, like Vision in Corduroy, Can't See for Shades, Somebody Put Me Out. And I don't know if I could even remember any more off the top right now, so I guess I know about a third of that. But yeah, then you got this, which is Echo Defender like future credits, because it's either like title or credits, I think, when you have this leitmotif, but when it starts with the rain sound, it's gotta be the credits one. Oh goodness. Okay. But yeah, that is in fact what it was. Another Tim Fallen game, I think, which is kind of weird because it's usually when I hear that name, like the first thing that comes to mind is just like all the stuff that he did for like Super Nintendo, pretty much. But then you got stuff like this, which is a weird continuation of something that originated on Sega. But it's just kind of nice, so I don't think I need to be... Well, a combination of that and just the fact that I don't need to be worried about bots for this one, I don't think, but... Let's go ahead and go to the next one now, because that was the middle one, so we got a couple left. Oh boy. Well, the source for this is just kind of obvious to me immediately, but what else do I need to say? say to express what the remainder of this would be. It's kind of a two, which one is it in one? Well, even though I think I even had this particular track on my my chase playlist for a while that I just happened to play on the stream because it was the stuff that I was trying to practice. I figure it's Galaxy 2, but it's Flip something Galaxy. I don't remember if it was Flip Swap Galaxy or Flip Swap Galaxy. Let's see. If it is... or maybe they're just the same thing, because yeah, this is Flipsville Galaxy, and I don't know if they would be any different. I guess I can try to find out right now. I can get one of these YouTube tabs that I have open to actually not be lagging to hell. Might be something of a tall order. But if I just try to open a new one and close an old one... these things are very, very unresponsive at the moment. Let's see. I mean, as usual, I have a lot of tabs open that I probably just don't need. That likely is not helping. I don't need this, and I don't need this, and there's a lot more that I can clean out. Oh, it's about to go to a different track anyway, so I guess I'll just let that play out, but I will still want to confirm this because it said Flipsville in the upload. I don't know if that's exactly the same as Flipswap. And then there's this, which... I feel like I've at least heard, but I can't place right away. I can probably say that for so many things in the chase, though. I have to remember to press start on my timer thing. I think I did. I don't remember if I did it with very precise timing, but... what could this be? Could be like Eternal Sonata or something. Or could it be another one of those kind of weeb aesthetic games that would happen to sound like this as well? And I think this is the version of the playlist that would have the that would also have the like stuff that's technically not in the playlist, the main chase playlist yet, like submissions and pledges. So my options for this are kind of limited. I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and look since it's been a minute, even though I didn't really have a very varied kind of guess, but apparently I was kind of wrong. This is probably something I have heard before, yeah. Probably from other people actually guessing it who actually know it, who would not, or which would not have included me, but this is Wild Arms 5, and this is the one called like Persephone Battle with a bunch of letters and numbers in between those two words in the actual title. Persephone IPCC-3927 and then battle in parentheses. What kind of, well, I don't know if I would call this not the kind of sound. I guess in my case I would, not the kind of sound I would expect from Wild Arms, but it's not like I've actually played a Wild Arms game, so... don't know if I would, if I were to play a Wild Arms game, this would still ring true. Would I expect this kind of sound from a game like that, but yeah. There you go. I'll go ahead and stop this for a second, because I want to figure out, I searched up Flipswap Galaxy on the actual search thing, and no, apparently Flipswap Galaxy and Flipsville Galaxy are different. If that one upload, which is also backed by this other uploader, are to be believed, are those from the same person? They are not. One of those was from Gilvasunner, and the other one is from an extended by a different person, and then this one, which has the same name, is, yeah, and Deoxys Prime. So I guess Flipswap Galaxy and Flipsville Galaxy are in fact different, so that had to have been Flipsville for the one that actually played. If you ever use the other playlist with the old submissions and try that, haven't played yet? I don't think I have, because I just kind of grabbed the first one well, when I actually have to search it on YouTube, because I don't already have it loaded. I typically just grab the one that shows up first, which is just the HVGM. But I do see the other one when I do search that up. Maybe I could use it at some point, probably would be beneficial. But for now, let me just go ahead and play a 6th track. Which is apparently from Yoshi's Story, Love's in the Air. Another game that I think very rarely comes up, at least these days. And yeah, kind of gives itself away at least. I get the feeling that happens with a lot of the tracks from this game. It just kind of has that leitmotif that makes it recognizable. Maybe I should actually play Yoshi's Story as well someday, but I don't know. There is apparently just at least a standard number of tracks that you would expect from any given game around, which is about 5. Well, technically when I look up Yoshi's Story in the little search thing that the playlist randomizer gives you, I get 5 results, but then one of them is not actually from this game. It's the song called Yoshi's Story from Melee, so. But I feel like the only one of these, the only track that's actually from this game that I would actually be able to probably recognize with any kind of confidence would be Bowser or Baby Bowser's Lullaby. But there you go. Just for the hell of it, let me see. If I were to actually plug in the other playlist that would ostensibly have the submission stuff included. It's kind of strange. Yet some of the numbers in the... oh, whatever. Let's see, this would be how many? 4580, but if I shuffle this one, it will be... I think the URL starts the same, or at least the playlist identifier starts the same. Unless I'm reading this weirdly. Okay, that's definitely more videos. First one that plays is, well, are any of the first 11 tracks that play here, or that get queued here, gonna be from something that isn't already in. You got Kingdom Hearts, Destiny's Force, you got Battle Against the Masked Man from Mother 3, which I'm not gonna play because of reasons of copyright robots. There's Opera Norther, Fires of Sebes from Super Metroid, Cuphead One Hell of a Time, Spin a Track from FF6, which also makes me paranoid. Bitter Cold A, oh, still under A. I wonder if they ever got changed, like the Oberdin tracks. Well, just from Return of the Oberdin, obviously, but I wonder if it ever got, if those tracks ever got changed with the clarification once the actual official soundtrack came out, that they're not split in the official soundtrack, but... what else? Sonic 3D, Green Grove Zone Act 1, this one that partly caught people by surprise, even though I was not expecting it to. I find it very paradoxical that I was the only one who managed to guess this in the quick round, and that I don't really know anything about Sonic. Party 1 Full of Danger, Happy Adventure, Delightful Adventure from Mario RPG, Mr. Sundown from KH2, and Luigi's Theme from Fasten Your Door, which I think I remember guessing sometime. I think it played in regular rounds during one of the episodes I was around for, but yeah. I guess I'll play just one more to confirm this. Nope. This is Mario Galaxy 1, the regular Bowser battle. So it didn't, even though it had like 400 additional tracks, I think. Closer to over 500, but... or no, maybe technically. I think it's like literally one track closer to 400 than 500, because it's right in the middle of that. Even with those 400 additional tracks, it didn't want to show me any of those right away at the top of the newly shuffled playlist, but oh well. For a quick round, I'm missing 9 games. But it's kind of ironic too, not just because of the reason that I mentioned, but just even, like, especially when I consider that. I look at my own practice stuff that I have locally hosted. I think Sonic 3D Blast, I only have 3 tracks from that. I guess Greengrove Zone Act 1 would just happen to be the one that I've had around for the longest. The small girl track from Smash Ultimate is still playing. Not quite up to the point yet where it's not gonna be playing anymore, but I think I might actually need to take a quick break before I move on to the video game this time. Let me see. If I do that now, let me take a look at the playlist right now, because I don't think it's gonna be randomized. If I do that, I might have to skip a couple of things. I might have to skip a number of things, actually. Like this and this, but hopefully everything else that were to play after this would be fine. Okay, so in just a few seconds and this is done. Let me skip like 10 of these tracks, because I get the feeling that some of them are liable to get picked up by robots, and go straight to this one. And I will actually do something that I haven't even to do in a while, and go on to the, well, go ahead and face this out because it's already done, but also go ahead and move on to something that I haven't really used in a while, which is break screens. So I will be right back. And enjoy the music that's hopefully not going to be able to be picked up by those copyright bots in a few minutes that I am gone, but I'll see you in just a few minutes, I hope. Alright, that was a little bit different, but be back. Just in time for me to confirm that I wasn't gone for any longer than, well, how long it's been playing for. I don't think it quite amounted to 5 minutes at least, which is good. But now I believe it is time. I guess we're gonna find out today, or at least after the end of today, whether or not the Fire Emblem stuff is gonna anger the freaking copyright robots. I hope it doesn't. I can't imagine that it would, but then again, I don't really have any frame of reference for that, given that I don't know if I've ever even played any new Fire Emblem stuff on here. Kind of regularity. Let's see. Okay, so let's confirm this. Change a few things about, such as this. And I probably ought to go ahead and change the metadata for this thing. Whilst I do this, should only take a second. Let's see here. And speaking of updates, I don't think that there's anything that's changed since I did that, but I did take the time to add a couple more things to that spreadsheet that I did a while ago with the stuff from the chase. Just having I guess a few kilometers of information with all the games from the chase. That got recently added to, what was it, to, I guess, the submissions on or the playlists that already were guaranteed to get in. I think that I added everything that was in the playlist channel that hasn't gotten in yet. Or at least gotten through the submissions yet, because I guess it's kind of assumed that anything that does make it into submissions will eventually make it in at this point. But let's see, did I update this yet? Did I click on this one button that I need to actually cause changes now? I guess not. Alright, so do I need to move anything around? I do. I need to move this around. The very same tab that I was just looking at. I probably should move on to a different tab that I'm gonna close immediately though. Like I just did. There we go. I don't need this open or this. And then there's the other thing that I wanted to complete, which was my big old archive of adventure game stuff that I was wanting to build based on at least a small number of sources, but because of how thorough one of them happens to be, it's just taking forever to finish. But I do want to follow through with that particular source, given that it's actually making me, or leading me to realize that number of games that I have, I guess, are classified as adventure games, even though I wouldn't have necessarily seen them as such. Let's see, is this thing actually synced? Let me restart it one more time real quick, see if it's actually synced audio-wise. Hoping that it's actually synced audio-wise, and furthermore, this thing is not quite at full charge. I should probably go ahead and... I mean, this thing is really remarkably good at retaining charge, I've noticed, but I should probably plug it in. Hold on. This thing, so I need to grab this one. There we go. And, well, just in time, in the... How long is this song actually? Nearly 8 minutes, and nearly 8 minutes that it took this song to play out. It's just in time to actually fade out. And watch as we transition to the game that I actually will be playing for the remainder of today, or at least additional expansion from this game that we will be playing for the remainder of today. Definitely wondering how long it's gonna turn out to be, but I should also not be going as crazy as I have been with the side quests for this thing, because it seems that it might actually take a while to get through. Perhaps a little more so if try to do all of those. You know, something that I don't think I really noticed about this before was how the title screen actually sounds different from the regular title screen, but I mean, I guess the Torna expansion is in the chase, so this could theoretically come up. I wonder if what other exclusive tracks from Torna would be the ones to get boosted in if it probably is something that has been boosted in from its expansion, considering that pretty sure that Battle Torna already played, I think, in regular rounds. Which is something that I'm pretty sure nearly everyone would know, or at least a considerable chunk of people would know, since that's like the big song from this game, I guess. Obviously I haven't heard the whole OST for this expansion so far, but if it were up to me, and if I had to guess, it would probably be like the first thing to get boosted in that isn't just Battle Torna. It would be the Gormot, the Torna version of Gormot. Seems like the other big thing that would stick out in people's minds from this so far, but anyway. It has not been nearly as much of a hiatus as it's just been like I was just playing this last week. And at the end of last week even, but previously on Torna, let me see, we were gathering ingredients and doing stuff, and I actually did a number of things off screen, like, sure, if I go to the campsite here, if I go to like pretty much all the crafting menus, it's gonna show that a lot of more of this stuff actually got made.
Let me see.
It turns out you only need to do so much to gather a bunch of ingredients that turns out a lot of them that I didn't even think were gonna be gatherable at this point are in fact gatherable. I managed to get a bunch more stuff that this guy can make, and I think even some of the stuff that I didn't think you would be able to get at this point, like the mechanical stuff. Apparently, like, I think inverse bearing I thought wasn't gonna be able to be collected by now, because I hadn't gotten any of those. But apparently all you gotta do to get those is to go back to the first region of Torna and just like search for the... well, search the mechanical gathering points there. Are there any chat stuff that I didn't already show? I get the feeling that there wasn't. What happens if you get desert fever? Well, he said that a bunch of stuff happens and then you say the meme. The meme line that actually no, I think this is like the one meme line that they apparently didn't take out of the game, because I was looking a bit more into the friggin' hardening and soldier stuff. And apparently they censored those lines. Well, censored might be a bit of an exaggeration, but they basically nerfed the frequency of those lines playing versus the initial release of the game, like the friggin' "think you can take me" line, I think, got straight up changed into something else entirely, and to be fair, I don't really remember like running into that line nearly as egregiously as a bunch of other people who seem to have played the game did. I just remember Your Done being the one that really stands out. Or stood out. And apparently the one that's also a meme line, that's "Don't Forget Me." Apparently got nerfed so that it doesn't even play in full anymore. Now it just says "Don't Forget" before it just kind of cuts out. But anyway, what were we actually doing? I used some of these things that were supposed to be collecting, the nest extract on some of those craftable things, so that I basically didn't end up collecting enough of those to complete that thing without actually meaning to.
Our journey continues.
Even though that's kind of a tall order anyway, because you have to specifically seek out the enemies that drop them. So what level am I now? I made it to level 34. I think that you were supposed to be like level 30 something, just like level 30 flat. By the time we got to the end of this,
Aren't we intrepid?
this part of this screen, which I feel like I've spent a lot of time in. And I think something else that I actually spent time on was just the affinity charts.
Aren't we intrepid?
Nature makes a fine ally.
Because, you know, unlike the main game where you get a whole bunch of different blades, to the point that they're practically infinite because of the gacha stuff. You only get like 6 of them in here. I don't know if you even get more. But yeah, I obviously didn't max them out or anything, but some strides have been made. I don't know if we have been to the ancient lake, bed, but then again, I look at some of these objectives and I kind of wonder if I'm even supposed to be able to, or I'm even supposed to be meant to be pursuing them at the level that I'm at. Goodness, right now. Now 11 more critical hits, and this one will be complete. And yeah, so I made you like tier 3 of the stuff. This guy, and I don't even remember if how much of that was from stuff that I actually did on stream and how much of that was from stuff that I did off screen, which to be fair wasn't even for that long, but well, we're about to level up again. I just looked at that experience bar. I love with 2 people at least. Apparently Hugo is gonna have a bit of a harder time doing that, but what are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be fighting the hive things, like the one that's right over there, so that we get the next extract stuff.
Let us push through as the coming tide.
I get a feeling that I'm not gonna be oh jeez. I'm gonna be nearly as hard pressed for filling out the stuff. Oh. The affinity chart bonuses, as I may have thought, but I would still like to fill them out. I should actually probably take a note of them, because I think that one of them was in fact what I just tried to do on purpose, which was do the level 1 special for Jen a bunch of times, but I also remember to check the affinity charts that are for the actual humans. I could go for this one, for instance, but let's use an art after cancelling an art. I don't know if I'm gonna be needing this one as much. I finally figured out what this one does. I think it basically means that if I think this is just like badly phrased. It means that you can cancel out of an art into another art, which means that if you do that with Rex in the main game after you max out Mithra with the like instant recharge for a bunch of the arts, and you equip double spinning edge and the avant-garde medal, you basically become an immortal Beyblade. But yeah, would I rather go for that first or 1250 instant charge for B? I don't even know. Probably want to go for that one first, but obviously can't get it yet, so it's a bit of a moot point. I get a feeling that it's going to be the same for the other human drivers' affinity charts, so let's see. What did I need to do? Use level 1 combo for this guy. Defeat specific enemy, defeat specific enemy. Overkill and chain attack. What about the rest to use? Use level 1. Use level 3. I should better just work on doing the Gen 1 first. Use level 1. Special with that guy, then use level 1 and level 3 a whole bunch with haste, and just do it with the chain attack. And use driver combo finisher with her, and use wildflower salad with her, which... Did everybody queue that up or what? I did not. I think I should have been able to make another one at least though. Wildflower salad, or maybe not, never mind. Why not? Well, I guess I have to make another one of those when I go back to the bonfire. What about these guys? It's gonna be much of the same, just like... Or at least do level 1, so pretty much all of the blades that we have right now. In order to develop them, we need to do level 1, and then there's exquisite perfume, which I'm pretty sure I just went over all that stuff, and I don't actually have the recipe for that one yet, so... Use level 1 and level 3. Evade, receive, evade, open treasure troves. Don't need to worry too much about that one. Okay, mystery, use level 2 for this guy though. Evade and attack, so try to use level 1 with every single blade that we have except for Aegeon, in which case just use level 2, and for Haze and what's her face there? For Haze and Bridget. Why can I never remember her name easily? Use level 3 as well. I don't think I actually looked at Mithra for this though. Farsighted talisman, hold on. I feel like we did actually make Farsighted Talisman. Did I remember to try to use that one, or did I just forget? Probably just forgot. Let's see. And I didn't realize the freaking talismans were all the way on the right, so I could have just done this. Or
I hope I am never parted from it.
press the left once.
Familiar feeling, like I want it all for myself.
I see. Well, there we go. That's that out of the way. We now have
Use my power to its utmost.
super strength level 2. And we still don't know what the condition is for the last one, but yeah. I haven't looked at the Mithra condition stuff. Is it use level 1? It sure is. Use level 1 and 2. This one is a mystery though. And do blade combo finishers and chain attacks for everyone. Blade combo finishers for Mithra and Haze, though I don't know if anyone else had that as a condition. I get the feeling that they didn't. No, so just Mithra and Haze. So now that I've gone over all that, I can actually continue on with this.
Remain serene, my friend.
And I've been looking at a lot of Xenoblade memes this weekend. Kind of I guess it just felt like a natural thing to do after actually managing to finish the base game with this, but one of the things that I looked at was basically the people who talk about how complicated the combat system is in this game, kind of in comparison to the other games. I don't know if in comparison to the other games is even the right thing to say in this regard, because I still don't know if I would say that the battle system in this game is more or less complicated than the one in Xenoblade X, at least. But yeah, it's like that. There's like one thing that I came across, it was just like a comment with a big explanation of how the combo system works in this game, and it's like, yeah, all this shit that you gotta keep on top of, and it's really simple. But it actually isn't, and that's a joke. But at the same time, it is not really simple, quote unquote. But the thing is that you pretty much have to become familiar with that to be able to do it properly. But if you do become familiar with that, it just becomes really easy to remember. So it's like, yeah, you can actually just write a comment like that, just with stuff that you can remember off the top. And we got all the nest extract that we needed, but let's kill this one guy and probably the guy next to him as well, just to be thorough. This nest, which is also a guy. And it's like, yeah, it's really simple. You got your driver combos, you got your blade combos, you got your element orbs, and you got your chain attacks. And all you gotta do is set up the driver combo in sequence, which is break, then topple, then launch, then smash, and then you can get more items from a given enemy if you hit them with smash and complete the driver combo. And then in order to be able to do the chain attacks properly, you need to... Wait, what? You weren't already fighting this thing before. Okay. In order to do the driver combo properly, you need to do 3 elemental attacks with your blades in sequence until you get to the 3rd level, and then you get an element orb of whichever element that you ended the combo with, and then if you manage to stack a bunch of those together, you can initiate a chain attack, which you do by letting the thing fill up, the party meter fill up, which I couldn't even tell you exactly how that works, honestly. You know, I'm just trying to more or less make this whole thing at the top now. I don't know exactly how the party meter does fill up. I think it's to do with crits or something, but once you do that, then you can initiate a chain attack and break the element orbs by attacking them with elemental attacks of the opposite element. And if you do that, you can extend the rounds by 1 round for each time that you break at least one of those. And if you manage to break enough of them, you can fill up a meter on the top left, which lets you do a full break, which lets you do obscene amounts of damage, which already kind of just fills up by itself as the chain attack progresses. But yeah, that's how you win the game. It's real simple, you see. Anyway. Is this the actual plot quest? Yeah. I'm pretty sure you have to talk to this guy for a different reason. He's the one looking for like the medicine that's in the Turkin lair, but he's also helping you out with a plot mission, I guess. Desert traversing preparation. Tonic hearts and nest extract for several people's share of remedies. The finally found it within you to bear the burdens of Torna, your majesty. Oh, well. You aren't thinking of doing anything like that, are you? Oh. Well, apparently that has to be the case if he's going to the capital. Many of his subjects long for decisive and resolute leadership, such as the prince could offer. Well. I think you're making too much of this charisma of mine. Well, I mean, you don't really see a lot of what the character that they portray here is in the main game of Xenoblade 2, where they never even show his face. They just make it like a gag. But when he shows up here, you don't initially see his face, and it's like, oh, are they still not gonna do that? But now they do. Want to go to the royal capital, but only to protect Torna and not take it over. So what? I mean, isn't he like fourth in line to the throne or something? But that technically means that, I guess in this context, he would have to do a coup or something to actually take over. Prince Setar is notoriously insecure. If he heard something like that, things could get pretty interesting. I don't know if I've heard the name Prince Setar before. Also, I just realized that I didn't. I once again turned these things off at some point, so I could like take a screenshot or something. And then I forgot to turn them back on. I think it's interesting when you can just sit back and watch from the sidelines. I don't know why they said that, but you can stop addressing me as your majesty. Well, what would you call someone who's technically like royalty, but not to the point that they actually are entitled to take an office like that? I wonder. I just take the ingredients and combine them post-haste. I guess I'm not gonna charge you anything. Desert medicine for 5. I mean, are we actually 5? We got like 3 humans and... oh yeah, we got the 2 humans that are kids, but that aren't actually playable. We can finally cross the lead bridge toward and make for the capital. Every single time I see that fucking name. Okay. I forgot about this, but I think these characters on the side here are literally talking about the same kind of shit that I just made a meaner rant about. Upload votes are easy targets. I get a feeling that the same is going to apply by necessity to launched foes. As that's a stage that follows Topple. That could somehow not be the case, by the logic that they're in the air when that happens, but... goodness, okay, actually hold on, there's a thing right next to me, I thought, yeah, over here. Never mind, I was gonna say there's a thing right next to me, I thought, but I'm not seeing it. If I look on the main map, it looks like there would be a field skill check thing somewhere around here, but maybe it's just like below me. Can't be above me, because there's nothing like directly above me. Would it be below me then? Oh yeah, I got super strength level 2 actually, hold on a second. With the G on, which I think I know what that field skill check thing is about. I think there's like a big barrel somewhere in the Turkin lair down here. Maybe. You couldn't actually open it without the super strength check, but I think it had to be at least level 2 and I couldn't actually manage to get it that high until now. There we go.
Slow and steady.
I wonder how many of these barrels we've actually opened up so far. We can probably check, because that's being tracked in a side quest, I think. And I'm guessing that even the big ones that have the super strength check would also count as one, though. This one, we have broken 49 of them, so there's still 21 left. We still don't have the thing that lets us examine the golden machines for parts, though.
Aren't we intrepid?
We can get penicillin when we come down here, which I think we can only... the only real purpose of getting that stuff right now is just to craft a specific item that you can craft. I don't remember which one it was. Might be a perfume, but I don't remember. It really makes sense. For it to be a perfume if it's supposed to be like a medication thing that you collect as an ingredient. What else would it be?
Aren't we intrepid?
Might as well go ahead and get all of the collection points while we're down here. With that out of the way. On we go to Awesome Magnum, where we'd come this far and get to like level 30 something before we actually, or even were able to get told about the... Wait, is this even the right place? Did I go to the right place, or did I get... No. Yes, I did. But hold on a moment. Am I on the bottom of this place instead of the top, which is what where I was aiming to go? I'm on the wrong side of this completely. I'm better off going to the bridge. It looks like.
Pleasant stroll. You remember our destination, don't you?
Well, I do, but it's just not very convenient to try and aim for it based on the map alone. Also, wasn't there a thing that I got for Jian's Affinity chart? I think there was.
Nature makes a fine ally.
It was just like probably the thing that triggered by getting enough of those collective threats. Yeah.
You can rely on me.
What does that do? It increases critical damage even more. Don't you know it? Chain attack, deal more damage, and take less immunity. And should probably worry myself about these things, these other stuffs.
Aren't we intrepid?
Nature makes a fine
Like defeating the Growl Plambus thingy, which is like those giant fat bugs that fly around in Gormot, but you need to be like level 40 to beat them when you go around.
Aren't we intrepid?
And we haven't quite gotten there yet, but we did manage to level up probably from the completing that plot quest, which is kind of strange, but I'll take it. Oh yeah, wasn't there a thing that I needed to do? Well, I don't think that I needed to do necessarily, but we have enough ingredients to where we can make another one of these.
Don't spoil your appetite before I'm done.
Wildflower salad, yeah, because we did shepherd's coronet, which for some reason we can only acquire from somewhere around here. Was it in the cave that... no, I don't think it was in the cave itself. It was like in some collection points around the cave where the big dog is.
It's ready.
You need to get past Far Quest, which I think we can actually probably challenge now. I think we're to that level where it shouldn't be a big problem, but still. Finally we set out for the city. I wonder what it's like over there. This isn't a sightseeing expedition. I guess we've never been to the city, or at least Team Laura hasn't. I mean to wag my finger at you, Hayes. Well, the only one that can do stuff with Laura if we can get away with it. We're going to need someone to carry all the things we buy. This is fine. I'm just gonna let myself get stepped on. That's just fine. Well, I guess we can't actually artificially level up yet again, so I'm just going to go for it.
From strength to strength.
That's a thing that some of the blades say. Some of the generic common blades in the main game that have the friggin' Legacy Dark Shadows voice. I should try to find out who the hell that voice actress was that actually did that voice. And like that should be a piece of knowledge that I could very well cherish, just because of how absurd that voice is. That's a song that I will never be able to get out of my head for as long as I live. But yeah, looks like we can actually go past where the bonfire is now the invisible wall is gone, so finally we can head this way. Maybe we can finally actually say goodbye to this screen for once. Did we come this way? I feel like I did come this way. This is like a secret waterfall thing up here. I'm not sure if I had, but maybe I didn't, because maybe there would be like a actual marked landmark like this one in here if I did. Well, I'll figure it out right now. We'll just keep going. Is this another village that got destroyed, maybe? No, this looks like it's in perfectly good state, whatever this is.
We could stay here for the day.
Something wrong?
No, but this place is familiar somehow. It feels like it anyway.
Is it possible you've been here before?
I have no memory of it. But still,
Maybe you could just have a little walk around. Something might jog your memory.
yeah, maybe so.
Alright. I feel like that might also be kind of a callback to scenes like the, what was it? Flashbacks that we just got over and over again in the base game. It's, I don't remember what the context would have been for that line.
This is becoming
I
addictive.
feel like we did see that line in some cutscenes in the base game, where she says, "Is it possible you've been here before?"
The suspense is killing me.
Might just be like the place where she woke him up initially, or something like that.